Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk some MMA fighting. We have a young man who's a local boy in northeastern Pennsylvania, now 22 years old, and he's doing a real nice job. He's an amateur fighter. His name is Kris Gratalo. Well, Kris, tell us a little bit about yourself, growing up in Pittston, starting out as a wrestler, and now where are you actually at?
I actually started off playing football when I was younger. I had a couple friends get me into wrestling, and I actually ended up wrestling for Pittston area for 9 years under Matt Giampetro and James Woodall. And once I was done with high school wrestling, I went out to Lock Haven for college. I wrestled there for a year and a half, and ended up leaving the program, had some trouble with the coach there, and decided to switch schools, ended up at Penn College.
Well, you're at Penn College in Williamsport. They call you the Badger, and you're doing a nice job out there at Penn College studying physical fitness. That's right up your alley. Tell us a little about, you're a middleweight fighter in MMA. Talk about your training. How did you first get involved?
I was actually working at a vitamin store in the Williamsport Mall, and a buddy of mine knew that I wrestled, and he asked me for some help with his wrestling. So one thing led to another, and I was helping him and a few of his buddies out, and he said, hey, come on over to this gym. There's a couple good guys over there. So I took a trip over, and I just kind of stuck. They took an interest in me and showed me the way into the sport. So, once I got started, 3 months into training, I didn't really know too much, but we had scheduled me a fight, and it was actually against a good buddy of mine, Sean Alvieri, who fights in the northeastern PA area. And I just had a blast doing it. It was a good time. I was real nervous, and once it was over with, it was almost like being a little celebrity in the area.
Well, a celebrity you are. You're 7-1 at this point, and you're going to fight again. It's coming up February 28th at the Stands in Bethlehem. That's going to be a great stage for you.
Yeah, they have a great event center there. They always have a packed crowd. The promoter for that specific fight is actually a really nice guy. They always help me out, and they're getting my name out there, which is something I'm really looking forward to, is just kind of getting the people to hear my name and see who I am and just show them that I'm there to put on a good show.
Well, Kris Gratalo, putting on a good show. You're a middleweight. Tell us about how much you weigh and what weight is considered a middleweight for those people who may not know a whole lot about MMA.
Well, middleweight in MMA is 185 pounds. My natural walk-around weight would probably be right around 200 pounds, so I have to lose about 15 pounds to get down to that weight. But it's really not that hard being in the physical fitness field, because I really have all the equipment and the tools that I need to make that weight cut possible.
Kris Gratalo is who we're talking to here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Kris, you talk about your training. You started in the Williamsport area, but you got to move it on. You're busy with school. Tell us about what's going on in your life, because you're kind of tying school together with your training. Tell us about where you're at currently and what you got going on for the next several months until you're able to graduate there from Penn College.
Well, we just started the semester this week here. And I basically what has happened with my old gym that I was training with, my starter gym, I pretty much outgrew the guys there, just in different places. Definitely not on a bad note that I left or anything. They're all great guys, but I had an opportunity to start training at an American Top Team, so I started doing that over my Christmas break, and those guys really just accepted me into their gym and just showed me really how I should be training, and just, the support and the structure that I need to really get to the next level. But being that I'm in school right now, I have another 5 months to finish up full-time here, which I'm finishing up my 2-year degree, and then I will be making a move to Bethlehem, which is where American Top Team Steel City, the gym that I'm training at, is located.
Well, that's got to be a nice fit for you. You're in Bethlehem. You're going to be fighting next month in Bethlehem, February 28th. And tell us about what you think about this gym, this American Top Team Steel City, and the quality that you're getting there, and what that's all about, and getting to know these guys over the holidays.
Well, first off, what really struck my interest was the head coach there, Carmelo Marrero, is a UFC veteran. and has really, really great ties to American Top Team in Coconut Creek, which is their main gym. So I went down there. I had met Carmelo at previous fights. Actually, my last fight was against one of his former fighters. So I fought that guy twice, and that's kind of how I met Carmelo. So I went down there, and Carmelo's he's a big dude, so he fits with me really well. He can push me around, which is the kind of training that I need. And they've got also other guys down there like Jamal Johnson, who's a Division III national champ in wrestling. Chris Corley, who's a Muay Thai instructor, is really, really knowledgeable. Alec Morales, who is a great boxing coach. And then they also have TJ Febo, who's a great Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach. And all of these guys have showed me within the first, couple weeks of being there that just all new things that I've never seen. And I've been doing this for about 2 years now. So, just getting down there and getting that extra knowledge has really piqued my interest.
Well, it sounds like you got top-level training, that's for sure. And again, you're down in the Lehigh Valley in Bethlehem at American Top Team's Steel City. So we're talking with Kris Gratalo here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Kris, you got so much going on in your world. Obviously, it all starts with the support of family and friends.
Yeah, most definitely. It was pretty funny because at first my family was totally against it. I don't think any parents or any family members ever want to see one of their family members go into a physical fight where, physical damage and just injury and anything could really happen in a mixed martial arts fight. So, my family wasn't really gung-ho for it, but they were just as excited after my first fight as I was, and pretty much all my family, my friends, just people that I hadn't talked to in years were contacting me and just telling me how great it was that I was getting out there and doing something that I truly love. So I definitely have a lot of support from those guys.
And a guy in northeastern Pennsylvania that's really made a name for himself is Jim Hedges. And this guy as well here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Yes,
Jim Hedges wrestled for Wyoming Valley West, and I like to believe that the District 2 northeastern PA wrestling community is very tight-knit. So you get around, you get to know a lot of guys, and Jimmy Hedges was one of the guys I got to meet, growing up, and he ended up becoming a UFC star right now, and he's fighting coming up here soon, actually a very big fight. So I'm excited to get with him and train with him because I know he's got his eye on the prize too.
We are talking Kris Gratalo from Pittston area, and again, doing a great job. Kris, talk about these 7 victories you have. Did they come all different ways, or you pretty much been winning a certain type of way?
Unfortunately, all of my fights have gone the distance. I'm what they like to call a grinder. I grind the matches out, and that's really just how it is. My first 5 fights, I won solely off of just wrestling. I had a good wrestling background, and in mixed martial arts, that's what they say the best background to go in is with, because you can control where the fight's going to go. So I used a lot of my wrestling in my first few fights. My 6th and 7th fight, I branched out and tried to do more of a stand-up game, tried to do some striking. And my last fight was it was all over the place, standing up. It was on the ground, but like I said, each fight has gone the distance, and each one has just been a battle.
Well, in some regards, maybe mentally, if you're getting through fights quickly and you're getting submissions and different things, at least you could go the distance. If something happens quickly, it's icing on the cake for you.
Most definitely. I'm sure when and if I do finish a fight, I'm going to be just as shocked as the crowd. So,
well, Kris, you talk about this fighting and being involved. Hey, you're a college student, you're fighting. You obviously need some support, not only from family and friends, but from some sponsors to make sure this works for you. Tell us about the people that are out there, the businesses, and the people that are supporting Kris Gratalo.
Most definitely. Huge shout out to Vince's Pizza right there in Main Street in Pittston. That's run by the Altieri family. I actually grew up with them. I would consider them my second family. I could go to them for anything. They really brought me up, and just in so many ways, I couldn't ever thank them enough. And for them to sponsor me, and the dream that I had is it's fantastic. And they always help me out. They're always supporting me, posting stuff around the business so that people see that I'm doing stuff. And also, we've got House of Ink over in Exeter as well. I get my tattoos done there, and those guys have always just been very, very cool towards me. And I mentioned having a sponsorship to them, and they were on board. And the owner, Dave Pizak, he definitely he supports me the most out of anyone in that business. He's always just asking me when he can help me out, when the next fight is, how many tickets could I get him. He's just really shown me a ton of support.
Well, that's great to hear that people here, businesses in northeastern Pennsylvania, showing you the love as you get bigger and better at what you're doing. And again, you said you're getting some of the best training you could, and you're down in Bethlehem getting that. When you take on this fight February 28th, now, do you know who you're taking on, or is it going to be an opponent to be named in the next few weeks?
Right now, what I'm looking for is a rematch with the guy that had beat me. I lost a split decision fight to him, which two of the judges had it in his favor and one judge had it in my favor. I went back and looked at the fight 1,000 times, and it didn't seem to me that I lost. And I would never question someone's win, or I wouldn't want to take anything away from him. But I believe that I'm the better fighter. So as of right now, I'm looking for that fight.
Well, it's going to be a fun night, I'm sure, down at the Sands in Bethlehem. That is February 28th. Kris, there's a lot of hard work to go in between now and then. You're getting into a regimen where you're going to peak at the right time. Talk about what you got going on probably over the next 5 weeks here.
Pretty much the next 5 weeks is going to be a lot of cardio for me. Naturally, I've always just had a lot of strength, a lot of power. I don't do too much weightlifting, so it's going to be a lot of running for me, and then just really tightening up a lot of the stuff in my striking game, my wrestling game, and also my ground game. Technique is what wins the battle 90% of the time.
And one last question for you, Kris. Where did you get the nickname the Badger?
It was actually really funny. Me and a few of my friends and teammates were watching a video. It's a Honey Badger remix video that you can find on YouTube, and we just had a couple of laughs, and pretty much, we put the idea up in the air, and then it just so happened to be my next fight. I dyed my hair red and black, and they were striped, like Badger stripes. So pretty much everyone had started calling me the Badger, and I just kind of stuck with it.
I like it. I like the story. I like the hair. It looks pretty good. Kris the Badger Gratalo here on the John Mendola Show, a Pittston area graduate, now at Penn College, going to college, doing an internship, training down in Bethlehem. Kris, you're doing it all, and again, the support you're getting is great, and we're looking forward to see how you do on February 28th. Thanks for taking time out and joining us with your busy schedule.
Thank you so much, John, for the support and also for getting me out there. I'd like to just thank anyone that's listening, and just give me a hit on Facebook. I have a fan page. You guys can reach me there. The fan page I have on Facebook is under Kris the Badger Gratalo. Go ahead and give that a like.
All right, so like Kris the Badger Gratalo, and of course, the more popular it becomes, the better it is for him. And of course, I think northeastern Pennsylvania will be awfully proud on February 28th. Continued hard work, Kris. Look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you very much, John.
All right, that's Kris Gratalo here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.